All right, so far so good. Just wanted to make sure I designated everyone correctly. Just wondering, Marcy Meyer, I'm just curious if you're connected with the applicant or a member of the public?
I'm a member of the public. I live across the street from the project.
Okay, great, thanks.
And Deer Park is a member of the public as well. They live next door to the project.
Excellent, thanks for letting me know.
Yep.
Okay, we do have two people connected by phone. First one has a number ending in 133. So I'm going to ask you to unmute by pushing *6 and just let me know what your affiliation is. Nothing from 133. How about phone number ending in 266? Can you let me know your affiliation? Okay, so I'm just going to assume you're. Oh, I'm sorry.
John Schochner. I live adjacent to the proposed farm across the fence. I'm just to the west of the proposed project.
Okay, so member of the public. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to mute you now, and just you can definitely stay connected to monitor and observe the party session. Thanks. So I don't know if you have anyone else joining us. Okay. Yes. Okay. Looks like we have everyone we're expecting, I believe. Okay, perfect. All right, great. Well, let's get on the record. Let's welcome everyone to, hang on, let's let the next person in here. Just, all right, there we go. All right, welcome everyone to 9815 CE100, the docket, which is the application of Northern Prairie Solar for CPCN to construct a solar electric generation facility. This is Michael Newmark, the Administrative Law Judge for the PSC. We're connected through Zoom at this party hearing session. We have parties and commission staff, as well as some members of the public in attendance. Thank you all for joining us here. Wanted to mention that we did hold the public hearing sessions on Wednesday, and we took a few comments from the public. We also have 60 comments filed online, and public comments will continue to be received until the end of the day, either through the commission's website or if we get them through the mail before the end of day, we can admit those into the record. So we're, like I said, we're in the party hearing session. We're here to take comments. We're here to take evidence from the parties and commission staff. We have the witnesses connected here, so there'll be opportunity for the parties and staff to cross-examine witnesses and just generally organize the case, make sure we get the record straight here. And along with the transcript for the public hearing session and the comments, online comments, the documents we receive here today will be part of the record. That'll be the documentation that the commission will use to make a decision in the case. They'll decide those issues in open meeting, and then a written order will be distributed to the service list and posted on the commission's website. So that's our notice. So we do have, oh, there we go. No, that's not doing it either. Okay, so we have our service list. I just want to make sure if we have any corrections to the list. Why don't we just begin first by getting appearances on the record? We can just go through the list as we see it here. So just let me know who's appearing for Clean Wisconsin, please.
Morning, Your Honor. Brett Cordy on behalf of Intervenor Clean Wisconsin.
All right, and Northern. Hang on, off the record for a second. So maybe I typed this wrong. Let's stay off the record for this, I guess. I have Northern Star Prairie Solar.
It's Northern Prairie Solar. Yeah, we noticed that as well.
So it's not Star, right? I couldn't hear you.
Right.
All right. I don't know
Northern Prairie. Yep.
why that it's in there or not, but okay. All right. So let's get on the record. So Northern Prairie Solar, who do we have appearing for them?
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Delaney Brewer with Reinhardt Werner Van Duren, and I'm joined by Mr. Larios as well, who's listed.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Public Service Commission.
Good morning. This is Kara Kuntz, Assistant General Counsel for the Public Service Commission.
All right. And yeah, that's there you go. Okay. And Renew Wisconsin. We have for Renew.
Good morning. This is Michael Vickerman, representing Renew Wisconsin.
All right. Thanks, everybody. So yes, I'll correct the service list to reflect the applicant's correct name. Get that out shortly. Well, I guess you'll see that in the next time service list is issued. So we have service list and appearances. We can move on to the offered evidence list. So we can take some discussion about that off the record. And I'm going to make room for the closed captioning here. Okay. So offered evidence list that was sent out to parties a few days ago. Any questions about, well, first of all, any
Mike,
correct?
excuse
Yes.
me, you said off the record, right?
Yeah, we can do this off the
Just
record.
want to make sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Let's just discuss any corrections to the list in terms of did I point to the right PSC reference numbers and the right versions of testimony? No corrections for that. Okay. So any questions about the comments?
It's not a question, Your Honor, but I will refile the third exhibit, Exhibit 3.
Mhm.
But the fourth exhibit is just going to be incorporated into the testimony since it's a PSC document. So I will be refiling my direct testimony to reflect that.
Okay, so just make reference to it there. So that's okay. So will it be easy to find this page? So this is the Vickerman 4. Will it be easy to find that page in the commission document, or is there a page number you can point them to in your, if you just use a testimony site?
No. So
Yeah.
that exhibit will actually become Exhibit 3.
Oh,
And we do have the 2021 profile. So yes, that will be word searchable. So it's Exhibit 3 that will be incorporated into the into the testimony. That one.
okay, so just the entire, so agenda document in a different case. All right, well, and how are you referencing it? So I just, yeah, as a footnote. Okay. So just in terms of a way to verify your statement. You have a page number for your testimony on that? I can look it up. So it's 3. Okay, and so you're gonna have a more updated version of that, or is it still the exact document? That's not gonna update, right?
No, the exhibits are effectively being renumbered. 3 is disappearing and 4 becomes 3. And what was 3 will just be footnoted in the body of the testimony.
Right, what was 3? So this is what you're citing to. Okay, so you're just gonna have, so what will replace the parenthesis there?
It'll be a footnote, and then at the, footnote number, and at the bottom will have the PSC ref number and the page in the document. So that's where you'll see the page C4.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to, I don't believe anyone cited to that in rebuttal or anything, right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right, so. Okay, so I'll just note that in my list. Okay, that's fine. Any other changes? I guess any questions about comments? No, so I just want to make sure we understand this kind of generic comment that I had with the endangered resources review. I guess we typically it's part of the application. I may have not have been asking for people to correct citations to that document in the past, probably just an oversight. But since it is a part of the application exhibit, it should be cited as if in that context. And in this case, it's been referred to so many times that it must have just got my attention. So if you could go through your testimony, each witness, have them go through their testimony and just change that citation to the ERR so that it reflects that it is part of that it is Appendix R in the application. That would be appreciated. And also just a reminder that there is a number of references to the extra docket environmental assessments, the ones that are filed in other cases. So none of that's it. Only what you've quoted in testimony is in the record. Citations to those documents don't bring anything else into the record. So in case parties or staff need more context or other pages to refer to, they need to make that known now. And I mean, I don't think it's a problem having those entered as exhibits, but at this point, I wasn't going to do that on my own. And if parties or staff wish to have the whole document to cite to, that's fair enough. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. Otherwise, I think I'll accept the documents here. When we get on the record, I'll accept the documents as filed with the expected corrections. And also just in terms of the figures 4.11 and 4.12, That's the exhibit, is it Larios 3, I believe? It's perfectly fine to have those come in as individual exhibits, and the purpose for that, I guess the unspoken purpose for that would be just to highlight those documents. It's Larios 2, I believe, yeah. Just to highlight that for the commission, but because it's part of the application, it should also be incorporated into the application exhibit. So you just need to put the link in the application exhibit, linking to that. Yeah, I don't know if they're filed on IRF as separately as other documents. They may be. So just use the original version of this revised figures 411 and 412 as the application document links. And then having it filed as well as an exhibit's fine, just to highlight that and to make it part of testimony. That's fine. Any questions? All right. So we did have another few callers here, I think, that joined us. Maybe they're not connected anymore. I'm not sure, but just so you know, this is the party hearing session. So we're hearing from parties and staff. Public is welcome to observe over the phone or through the Zoom connection or through the live stream. That's perfectly acceptable. So I think we're ready to go. All right, so let's get on the record. So we discussed the offered evidence list. We had a few changes to the list, and I've documented those for my review when the refiling of the documents come in. So I believe we're set with the offered evidence list. I can accept the documents for the record that appear on the list pending the corrections we're expecting, and also subject to verification from the witnesses. So let's get started with the applicant.
Well, good morning, Your Honor. We will call our first witness here, who I think is with us, Dr. David Loomis.
All right,
Good
Dr.
morning.
Loomis.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I think you're okay. So let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, great. Well, thank you for joining us at some extraordinary circumstances, but I appreciate you appearing today.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Loomis. Can you please state your name? Full name.
David Loomis, Loomis.
Thank you. And where are you employed and in what capacity?
I am a professor of economics at Illinois State University, and I'm also president of Strategic Economic Research, LLC, which is the consulting firm that I own.
And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding direct testimony consisting of 6 pages?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you have any corrections to your testimony at this point?
No.
If I asked you the questions set forth in your testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
I don't think we need to move to incorporate, correct, Your Honor? You've already accepted everything.
That's correct.
So with that, Dr. Loomis is available for cross.
All right, any questions for the doctor?
No questions.
All right, hearing none others, thank you very much. You're excused.
Thank you very much.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, we would like to call Andrew Lines, but I want to make sure he's on the hearing. I don't see him, but I may be missing something.
I have Lynch Line. Yeah, Chase Line. Is that, or is that somebody else?
Well, maybe we'll just move on and hopefully he will join shortly.
Lines. Oh, okay. Yes, I don't.
Yeah, I don't see him. But
Yes.
we've messaged him. So why don't we move on? We'll call Andrew Schad.
There you are. All right, there you go. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Schad. Can you please state your full name?
Andrew Shad, last name Schad.
Thank you. And where are you employed and in what capacity?
I'm employed at Westwood Professional Services as the sound and noise control team lead.
And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding direct testimony consisting of 5 pages as well as 1 exhibit?
Yes.
And do you have any corrections to that testimony?
No.
If I asked you the questions set forth in your testimony today, would your answers be the same as set forth in the written testimony?
Yes.
With that, Mr. Schad is available for cross.
Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, hearing none other. Thanks very much. You're excused.
Thank you.
Our next witness will be Ms. Shannon Hansen.
Seeing the witness there. Maybe I'm missing her.
I can see her
Okay,
on my
perfect.
screen.
Yes, I should just use my my secret weapon, which is raise your right hand, and then I'll see you doing. Why did I forget to do that? Okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I can.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning, Ms. Hansen. Can you please state your full name?
Shannon Hansen, and last name is Hansen.
And where are you employed and in what capacity?
I am employed at Westwood Professional Services, and I am the Senior Environmental Permitting Specialist.
Thank you. And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding direct testimony consisting of 18 pages as well as 1 exhibit?
Yes, I have.
Do you have any corrections to your testimony?
I do not.
And if I asked you the questions set forth in your written testimony today, would your answers be the same as set forth in that written testimony?
They would be the same.
Thank you. And with that, Ms. Hansen's available for cross.
Any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Nobody else? All right. Thanks very much. You're excused.
I see that Mr. Lines has joined us now, so we will call Andrew Lines.
Okay. Are you ready to go?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, great. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Lines. Can you state your full name?
Andrew Lines, Lines.
Thank you. And where are you employed and in what capacity?
Cone Resnick is the name of the firm. I am a partner in the firm. My title is principal, means the same thing. And I help lead our valuation department for a national accounting firm.
Thank you. And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding direct testimony consisting of 5 pages?
I have.
Do you have any corrections to that testimony?
I do not.
And if I asked you the questions set forth in the testimony today, would your answers be the same as set forth in the written testimony?
Yes, it would.
Thank you. Mr. Lines is available for cross.
Any questions?
No questions.
Not hearing any others. All right. Thanks very much. You're excused.
So much.
Our next witness is Mr. Lynch.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? No, we need to turn your mic on, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. All right.
Okay. I do, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Lynch. Would you please state your full name?
It's James Michael Lynch, Lynch.
Thank you. And where are you employed and in what capacity?
I'm employed at J. Lynch Solutions PLLC, and I'm a principal and environmental attorney.
Thank you. And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding rebuttal testimony consisting of 7 pages?
Yes, I have.
And do you have any corrections to that testimony?
No, I do not.
If I asked you the questions set forth in your testimony today, would your answers be the same as set forth in the written testimony?
Yes, they would.
And Your Honor, we do have some brief oral certiorari rebuttal from Mr. Lynch. If that's okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
So, Mr. Lynch, did you review Mr. Felty's rebuttal testimony regarding the analysis of endangered resources for the project area?
Yes, I did. Mr. Feltes raises concerns over the northern long-eared bat and, quote, other similar sensitive species or natural resources, unquote. Mr. Feltes does not specify which other species or resources are causing his concern aside from the northern long-eared bat.
And what are the regulatory processes for ensuring that the project won't impact sensitive species, including the northern long-eared bat?
Wisconsin DNR and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service are charged with evaluating the project's potential impacts on sensitive resources. The ERR is WDNR's required process for analyzing the likelihood of endangered species occurring both in and around the project area. Through that process, WDNR reviews its current data for presence of the species in the area under review and can require additional surveys if necessary regarding the presence of a particular species. Likewise, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service analyzes whether a proposed project may affect federally threatened or endangered species or designated critical habitat. Through the IPAC process, an applicant can determine potential impacts and obtain documentation to ensure the project is compliant with the Endangered Species Act.
Thank you. And did Northern Prairie Solar follow these processes for the project?
Yes, it did. Northern Prairie Solar followed the EIR and IPAC processes. Based on the ERR results, WDNR did not require additional surveys for any species. WDNR recommended a survey or habitat assessment for bald eagles, which Northern Prairie Solar voluntarily completed, and that's located at Appendix R in the testimony. Although it was not specifically required, Northern Prairie Solar also performed a qualitative on-site habitat assessment of the entire project area to determine whether the project was anticipated to impact sensitive species and what mitigation measures would be employed if necessary. And that's located at Appendix O in the testimony. Based on Northern Prairie's conscientious siting process and additional preventative efforts, WDNR witness Stacy Rowe, who is responsible for, quote, identification and evaluation of endangered and biological resources, unquote, concluded that the project is unlikely to adversely affect endangered resources. And that's located at row-2, pages 4 to 5. Northern Prairie Solar also coordinated with U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and followed the required process for identifying federal threatened and endangered species. That's located at Appendix R of the testimony. This federal review did not identify any critical habitat in the project area, included the wooded areas that are in question, and that's located in the EA at page 26.
Thank you. Do the WDNR and United States Fish and Wildlife Service regulations require that Northern Prairie Solar avoid tree clearing in the project area to protect the sensitive species?
No, they do not.
So with respect to the northern long-eared bat, do WDNR and the United States Fish and Wildlife Service provide any recommended mitigation actions?
Yes, both agencies recommended mitigation actions. Currently, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service guidance recommends avoiding tree clearing outside the pup season from June 1 to July 31, and that's noted at EA. In the EA, page 26, WDNR recommends extending the avoidance period to August 15 where possible. Northern Prairie Solar has agreed to follow these recommendations as discussed in Mr. Larios's testimony, and that's at Larios, page 12 in his rebuttal.
So Mr. Feltes discusses the United States Fish and Wildlife Service's reclassification of the northern long-eared bat, do you anticipate that change in classification will have any impact on the project?
No, I do not anticipate the reclassification will impact the project or alter the evaluation of the project. As stated in the EA, there are no known northern long-eared bat hibernacula within 1 mile of the project area, and that's stated in the EA at page 26. Furthermore, there are no known northern long-eared bat maternity colonies within or adjacent to the project, and that's likewise stated in the EA at page 26.
Based on these analyses, do you share Mr. Felty's concern regarding the impact of tree clearing on sensitive species?
No, I do not. Available scientific information indicates that the avoidance, minimization, and mitigation measures proposed by the applicant are reasonably likely to avoid adverse impacts to sensitive species in compliance with the Endangered Species Act, the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, and the Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act. Mr. Felty suggests that Northern Prairie Solar should only be allowed to clear on private land if the project can prove, quote, the absolute absence of endangered resources, unquote, in the wooded portions of the project area. That's in his rebuttal at page 1. There is no basis in law or science for Mr. Felty's suggested prohibition on tree clearing on arrays 9 or 10 or elsewhere on the project. The project has complied with applicable laws and undertaken an evaluation of the project area with its technical experts. These evaluations indicate that it is not reasonably foreseeable that tree clearing will adversely impact sensitive species or habitat. Based on these evaluations, Northern Prairie Solar has acted reasonably by committing to minimize tree clearing to the extent possible, consistent with federal recommendations. The applicant has also committed to monitor on-site activities and to continue to coordinate with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and WDNR as described in the application. Finally, the applicant has offered to undertake voluntary mitigation measures to mitigate for the tree clearing needed to construct the solar project. In summary, I believe the applicant has acted reasonably in compliance with applicable laws and policies to avoid, minimize, and mitigate the potential effects of project construction on sensitive species within the project area.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch is available for cross.
All right, any questions?
Your Honor, I have one question for Mr. Lynch.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Lynch, do you know for certain what the new Fish and Wildlife rule will require and how stringent it will be?
Thank you for that question. No, I do not. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has, to my knowledge, not announced yet what that new rule will require. It has indicated, I believe, in public forums that it may extend the cooling off period for the uplisting another 30 to 60 days in order to further address those issues. So there is uncertainty right now regarding what the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service may require further beyond the existing guidance that's contained in the existing 4D rule for the species.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
All right, anyone else? No, all right. Okay, any redirect?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, well, thanks very much. You're excused.
Your Honor, our next witness is Mr. Larios.
All right, raise your right hand. Can you hear me? There we go. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? No, we can't hear you. No, your microphone is on as far as I can see, but there's some disruption with the sound. No, still not hearing you. Let's go off the record. So maybe the quickest solution would be to have him call in as well as connect the video without sound. And notice of hearing shows you that number. So we can get it out here. That's the applicant's last witness. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh, we see you're there. Let's test out your sound again. Okay. So
Hello, I'm sorry. Can you hear me, Your Honor?
yes, yes, that's much better. Thank you. So we are hearing a little bit of an echo. I don't know why. Maybe you have speakers on your computer.
Is this better, sir?
Yes, yes, that's much better. Thanks. Okay, great. So let's well, let me just swear you in again. I think we asked the question but didn't get the answer. So raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Larios. Can you please state your full name?
Yes, good morning to everyone. My name is Horatio Larios, and I am the Director of Development at Leeward Renewable Energy.
Thank you. And have you prepared and caused to be filed in this proceeding direct testimony of 32 pages, as well as 2 exhibits, and rebuttal testimony of 16 pages, as well as 1 exhibit?
Yes, I have.
And do you have any corrections to that testimony?
I do not.
If I asked you the questions set forth in your direct and rebuttal testimony today, would your answers be the same as set forth in the written testimony?
Yes, they would.
And we do have some brief sir rebuttal testimony, Your Honor.
Okay, just a second here. I just go off the record for a minute. I'm just seeing a little bit of a discrepancy on the screen. So I'm going to just stop the screen share for a minute. Hopefully that will. I don't know if that's going to work. Okay, so there is an issue with when someone calls in, their face doesn't appear on the live stream because the audio is coming through the phone line. So I think for now, we're just going to work. Well, we probably will need the screen share. So I'm going to put it back on. Okay, and I just wanted to ask before we go further, let's just get on the record. I just wanted to ask you one question, Witness Larios. Just in terms of the nomenclature of your exhibits, you have exhibits labeled Larios 1 through 4. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure we all agree on that. Okay, perfect. Yes, so go ahead with your additional statements.
All right, thank you. Mr. Larios, can you address Mr. Felty's statement in his rebuttal regarding the alternate designation of arrays 9 and 10?
Yes, I can. Mr. Felty is correct that the wooded areas were intentionally designated as alternative by Northern Prairie Solar because of the potential burdens and impacts of tree clearing. However, as project design develops, it is possible other, more significant issues may arise related to some of the primary array areas. In order to address these unforeseen issues and construct a project as efficiently as possible, Northern Prairie Solar strongly prefers to maintain the flexibility to build arrays 9 and 10. Moreover, although the arrays in the wooded areas are designated as alternative, some of the other infrastructure proposed, such as collection lines, are associated with the primary arrays. Prohibiting all tree clearing in these areas would require Northern Prairie Solar to redesign collection lines, reroute access roads, and relocate project fencing. As noted in my rebuttal testimony and the rebuttal testimony of Mr. Lynch, Northern Prairie Solar intends to minimize tree clearing to the extent practicable. As stated in rebuttal Lynch pages 5 through 6. However, prohibiting all clearing from arrays 9 and 10 would require significant changes to the project design, as stated in my rebuttal, Larios, pages 9 through 10.
Thank you, Mr. Larios. And have you reviewed the additional public comment that was filed since your rebuttal testimony by Ms. Lisa Schmidt?
Yes, I reviewed Ms. Schmidt's most recent comment.
And do you have a response to Ms. Schmidt's comment?
Yes, Ms. Schmidt expresses concern that the Northern Prairie Solar has not committed to the specifics of vegetative buffers around her property. I wish to confirm that Northern Prairie Solar is willing to provide vegetative screening at Ms. Schmidt's residence, consistent with my rebuttal testimony. However, Northern Prairie Solar cannot commit to the specifics of the vegetative buffer prior to the final design because project equipment and layout may change, which could impact the proposed screening. If there is not a significant change to the project layout during final engineering, the proposed vegetative buffering around Ms. Schmidt's residence will be as shown in Exhibit 4 of my rebuttal.
And have you reviewed the additional public comment filed by Ms. Amanda Quady since your rebuttal testimony?
Yes, I reviewed Ms. Quady's most recent comment.
And do you have any response to Ms. Quady's comment?
Yes, Ms. Quady states that Leeward Energy has no experience in solar farm development as they have not developed a solar project before. I would like to clarify that Leeward Renewable Energy has significant experience in developing renewable energy projects, including solar projects. On 10 October 2022, Leeward celebrated the commercial operations date of its 120 megawatt DC Rabbit Brush solar project, which also includes a 20 megawatt, 50 megawatt hour battery energy storage system. Additionally, Leeward currently has 4 projects under construction, which will have a combined installed capacity of approximately 750 megawatts DC. Leeward also has 4 additional projects in late-stage development with a proposed installed capacity of approximately 740 megawatts DC. In 2021, Leeward purchased the development assets of First Solar, which brought in additional decades of experience to Leeward's team of experienced industry veterans. The Leeward team collectively has several gigawatts of experience in development, engineering, construction, and operations of utility-scale solar projects.
Thank you. With that, Mr. Larios is available for cross.
All right, great. So I just wanted to clarify that those public comments look like Amanda Quady has filed 2 comments since the filing of the witness's rebuttal, I believe. So the one that has the statement that I think the witness is referring to, the no experience statement, that has a PSC number of 456389. And there's a subsequent comment filed by the same witness later on in the process. So just wanted to make sure we are aware of that. And the comment, the earlier comment, the other witness, Schmidt, I believe, I couldn't find that on my brief search here on Earth. So I don't know if you have a date that was filed or a PSC number for that.
Yeah, the PSC number is 455991, I believe.
The record briefly. 455. Okay, I see it there. Yes. 991. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Thanks. Okay, so back on the record. So have you concluded the supplemental testimony?
Yes, Your Honor, the witness is available for cross.
All right, so any questions?
Yes, I do have some questions for Mr. Larios. Good morning, Mr. Larios. Are you aware that, good morning. Are you aware there was a public hearing on January 18th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am, I listened in.
Okay, you did attend. Are you familiar with a comment made by a private landowner, Brian Zahn, Z-A-U-N, at the hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
In that comment, Mr. Zahn, he stated that access to the site from the highway utilizes his driveway. In particular, he stated, "My property enters to the home we live in on that 13 acres right off the highway. The property on the north side of Highway 64 that the solar field is planning on going in currently accesses through our driveway for all tractors and everything they do, their farming there." Could you clarify whether access to the site from the highway would require the use of private property owned by Mr. Zahn, essentially his driveway?
Yes, ma'am, I can clarify. The
If I may,
entrance to the
I'm sorry, let me just interject here. I can do that. So I just wanted to interject. I have that, your exhibit 2, and I just wanted to display what I think is our site in question. So I can zoom out a little bit more. Can you see that, Ms. Larios?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
And in the center, there's a residence there. Just zooming in a little bit more. Is that the site we're discussing now?
Correct. That is Mr. Zahn's property.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, why don't you please continue?
Okay. The entrance to the driveway is on a parcel leased by the Northern Prairie Project directly east of Mr. Zahn's property. In other words, the entrance and the portion of the driveway that goes directly north is owned and controlled by the participating landowner, who has transferred those rights to the Northern Prairie Project through the lease of the land. There is a non-exclusive easement for ingress and egress over the westerly 10 feet of said driveway, which benefits the Zahn property. Both the project parcel and Mr. Zahn's parcel have joint private driveway authorization from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. The Northern Prairie Project will not prevent Mr. Zahn from continuing to enjoy the benefits of the non-exclusive easement for ingress and egress across the Northern Prairie Project parcel.
I don't have any additional questions.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to clarify the route that we're discussing in terms of egress and ingress to the project. The route we're discussing here, is this the, I guess, off-white color line that's being displayed on the screen? Is that correct? It's a straight line across that's parallel to the highway, and then sort of a diagonal line that approaches the Zahn property.
No, Your Honor, that is not an accurate representation of the way the driveway is laid out.
Right, I'm just talking about the lines on the map that were added to the picture, just to get oriented. So there's this straight line across the page, sort of an off-white color. Are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, might I suggest that we look at the legend of this drawing, because I think that will indicate what that line represents.
Right, that was my next question for the witness. So and then the diagonal line going towards the property, that's also, you also see that, correct?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay, and so is that the access route that we're just been discussing?
It is not an accurate representation of the access route that we are discussing, sir.
Okay, but that's what the applicant presented as. So okay, I guess I'm not understanding. So, so on the map, which is the route that you were just discussing?
The route that I am discussing is a segment of the road which travels north-south, and it is adjacent on the east side to the Brian Zahn parcel property line. So the way that the entrance is laid out, as it stands, there is an existing road that travels north-south that is on the project parcel under lease option. Mr. Zahn has an egress easement over the 10 westerly feet of that road, of that driveway. And that driveway is definitely on the project parcel that is part of the Northern Prairie project, sir.
Okay, so is that indicated with the line that's sort of a salmon color?
No, sir. The line that is sand in color is a proposed entrance to the project.
Totally separate from the easement that you're just discussing.
Correct. That proposed new entrance is further east of the easement that I am discussing. Yes, sir.
So I'm just still confused about what's being represented in this picture. So let's.
Your Honor, I think the existing distribution line and alternative access road indicators here on the legend are very similar in color, which may be causing the confusion.
So we have alternative access road, which is, yeah, very similar. I agree. And then the other legend that you're pointing to is which?
If you could just move left on the screen, you should see the existing distribution.
Oh,
And I believe that's what the line you were looking at.
yes. So, okay. So primary access road is this salmon looking color, I guess. And alternate access road is a lighter salmon color, I suppose. So I don't know if the witness can confirm. So the line we originally were discussing, this sort of off-white line, can the witness confirm that that's existing distribution line?
To the best of my interpretation, as I see the drawing, as you have been able to share the legend.
Mm-hmm.
And so my best interpretation is that, yes, that is a distribution line.
Okay, but you don't know. Okay, it's not your knowledge that it is. You're just looking at the map.
It is correct that this is my map. I have not reviewed it. And so it's unfortunate that the colors are so similar. That does appear to be a distribution line off of what we just saw. It is definitely not a representation of the ingress-egress driveway that we are discussing.
Okay, so the salmon color, that is the primary access route, is it not?
Correct. That is a proposed primary access route, which lies to the east of the driveway, for which there currently is joint private driveway permitting from the Department of Transportation.
Okay, so that is where the easement exists on this primary access route.
No, sir. The easement exists in between the red line, which is, I believe, the parcel boundary, and that primary road in sand color.
Did you say in sand color?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know there's a picture without the lines in
Your
existence.
Honor, may we suggest that we look at a Google Earth picture if available?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get off the record.
Illustrate.
I do have a picture of the area without the lines, and just hang on.
Your Honor, I might also just suggest taking a look at the response to staff data request 3.3, which I think will help with some of your confusion.
Is that something that was recently filed, or is it?
No, it was filed in September, but it explains sort of why the easement is not marked as an alternative or primary access road, why they're not aligned.
Okay, I didn't realize that was in the record, or not in the record yet, I suppose, but was available to us. Okay, so what was the
It's staff data request response 3.3.
Augie.
Okay, I see that. I guess what I was curious is just having the witness verify based on, okay, what is going on here? His mic is on.
Your Honor, it's the Ashland name.
Okay. Thanks. I do have a picture of the property without the lines. And I'm not exactly sure where the source of that is, but it looks like it looks like it's from the application. So the way the access roads appear, and let's get on the record if we're not. Yeah, sorry. So we do have a picture here without of the area where we've been discussing that does not have the overlay. So we can see the access roads a little better. And maybe it would clarify to have okay, off the record. So I'm just muted this, Ashlyn. Either stay muted or I'm going to disconnect you from the hearing because you're disrupting us. It's back on the record. So if the witness could just explain if this is an accurate depiction of the area that I'm displaying now, and what exactly are we seeing here in terms of the access roads? It looks like we have a driveway to the west, and then it looks like the proposed primary access road slightly to the east. And if you could just orient us in terms of where the easement is on that picture, I think that may help the situation here.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for showing this. This is a good picture. It appears that the yellow lines that travel north-south to the east-west of Mr. Zahn's property, those lines delineate the Mr. Zahn's property boundary. So in my earlier response to Mrs. Kunz's question, I noted that the driveway, the north-south portion of the driveway, is on the project parcel that is under lease option for the project. Mr. Zahn has a non-exclusive egress, ingress easement on the westerly 10 feet of that driveway that we see, which lies to the east of the yellow parcel line. The yellow parcel line being the divider between the project parcel and Mr. Zahn's parcel.
Okay, great, thanks. But the primary access route is to the east of the shared driveway? Is that
Correct.
right?
The proposed project primary access is to the east of the existing shared driveway.
Okay, and then there may be an issue with getting a permit for that access, is that correct?
We are in discussions with Wisconsin Department of Transportation regarding the feasibility of this proposed primary access.
Okay, so, and let me, and are you the person in discussion with DOT?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, has there been any other proposals for a different location for that access road?
We have internally developed different options. I cannot tell you exactly if I shared those with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation yet.
Okay, but for the commission,
I don't think I have.
For the commission's information, would it be possible to say, for instance, route that primary access road to the other side of the property line, the eastern edge of the array area instead of the western edge?
I believe that is a viable option. However, I would have to take a look at the wetland and waterways map to see if there's anything there that would prevent it. But that is one alternative that could be considered.
Is that something that the applicant plans to propose to DOT?
We could propose that if necessary.
Okay. So then in terms of the shared drive, you mentioned that 10 feet, I suppose, west of the line is access for the Zahn property owner. And is it that the shared drive is it a coincidental easement, or is it just splits the actual driveway in half? Is that so one half is available to Zahn and one half is available to the project?
No, it's not quite, sir. Let me make a correction here. The north-south portion of the driveway lies entirely on the Northern Prairie Solar project parcel under lease option. Mr. Zahn enjoys a benefit over the westerly 10 feet of said driveway. That benefit is a non-exclusive egress easement.
Okay, I see. Does the applicant have a plan as to how it would accommodate the non-exclusive easement of the Zahn property? How to accommodate access to the property owner?
Please say the last portion of that question, sir.
Does the applicant have a plan as to how it will maintain the easement, how it will keep access, how it will maintain access for the property owner?
The project will develop specific plans in order to ensure that Mr. Zahn continues to enjoy the ingress-egress non-exclusive driveway access easement that is in place.
And what is it willing to enter into a cooperation or is it willing to cooperate with the property owner to come to some agreement, or is it just going to have a plan that the property owner must accept?
I believe that there has to be a plan which maintains, does not affect in any way the ingress egress access that Mr. Zahn enjoys through the recorded easement, sir.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, I'm glad cleared that up, at least for me. Sorry about that if everyone else was already on board. But I think some of the maps may have led to confusion. I know the landowner, I don't know if the landowner had this picture and understands the easement, but the overlays may have confused that a bit. Because I think he did mention this distribution line. I'm not sure about that in his comment, if he mentioned that line or not. Okay, all right, that's fine. So any other cross for the witness?
No further questions.
Okay, and redirect?
Yes, I might just have a few clarifying questions here.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Larios, I just want to make clear the proposed access road was in the access road shown on the screen there was initially the access road proposed for the project, correct?
Correct. The proposed access road for the project is that which is pointed to by the second arrow on the right.
Thank you. And because of the concerns raised in the staff data request, is it correct that you began assessing whether there was an alternative option for access to this parcel? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And the concern was not the location of the proposed entrance to the access road, but rather the number of entrances allowed off of Highway 64, right?
That is correct.
So the one alternative, is it correct to say that one alternative then that you're exploring is using the existing entrance on the leased parcel to which Mr. Zahn has an easement, using that entrance to access the substation and arrays shown?
That is correct. That is one of the considerations under study.
And if you were to use that entrance, which is on the leased parcel, would anything that the project does inhibit Mr. Zahn's access to his parcel through the easement that he currently enjoys?
No, there would have to be a very specific, there would be a specific plan in place to ensure that Mr. Zahn continues to enjoy the benefits of his easement without the project affecting them.
And if the project used this entrance as an alternative access point or as the access point to the parcels shown, would Northern Prairie Solar ensure that the quality of that entrance and the driveway meets the described qualities of access roads as described in the application?
That is correct.
Okay, I think that's it, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect, thanks. So I'm going to create a Lazarios 5 exhibit, and I'll file this. It'll just be this picture because we have been referring to it, and I believe it's an excerpt from the application, but with the arrows and the fact that we've been discussing it at length, probably makes sense to put that in as a separate exhibit. So you'll see that just be a cover page and this image. So anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. You're excused. And that's all the applicant's witnesses. So now we can take renew. Mr. Vickerman is here. So let me swear you in. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, we are getting a bit of an echo. I think that might be Mr. Lazarios's phone. Is that possible? Let's be off the record for a second. Any echo now?
I'm sorry, sir. I just corrected it.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's get back on. So, okay, you're sworn in, witness Vickerman. So I see that you have a direct testimony, and you originally filed 4 exhibits, Vickerman 1 through 4. We have discussed renaming Vickerman 4 to Vickerman 3, and simply citing to the document that was originally filed as Vickerman 3 as a citation to your testimony. And let me correct. So original Vickerman 4 will be refiled as Vickerman 3, but also updated to the more recent version of that document. So is all I've just said correct?
Everything you said was correct. Thank you.
Okay, good. As long as I understand. Okay, so let me ask you, with those modifications to your testimony exhibits, are they complete and correct to the best of your knowledge?
They are.
All right. Do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Okay. So any cross-examination for this witness?
None from the applicant, Your Honor.
All right.
None from the commission.
Okay. And no one else? All right, great. Okay, well, thanks very much. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So next is commission staff.
The Public Service Commission calls Kyle Feltus.
Okay, see you there. Perfect. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Kyle Feltus,
What is your position at the Public Service Commission of Wisconsin?
Environmental Analysis and Review Specialist.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct answer rebuttal testimony in this docket?
Yes, I did.
Did you also file and cause to be filed an exhibit marked PSC-EA?
Yes.
Are the statements and representations in your testimony exhibits you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes.
Do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony or exhibits at this time?
Yes, I do have one. I would like to clarify the intention of my statements regarding the restriction of tree clearing in arrays 9 and 10. My testimony had proposed an order condition that would restrict tree clearing in arrays 9 and 10. However, it was only for the placement of solar array blocks. I will read the proposed order condition from page 6 of my direct testimony, which in quote, Northern Prairie Solar shall not install PV arrays in alternate siting arrays 9 and 10 where mass tree clearing would be necessary, end quote. In summary, I do not intend to recommend restriction of all tree clearing in arrays 9 and 10, and understand there is proposed infrastructure that will require tree clearing in arrays 9 and 10.
Thank you. Did you have the opportunity to review the testimony of the other parties' witnesses that were submitted in this manner?
Yes.
Do you have any changes or clarifications you would like to make to your testimony today based on that testimony?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, the witness is available for cross-examination.
All right, any questions?
Just one brief question, Your Honor. Good morning, Mr. Feltes.
Good morning.
On page, in light of just your oral testimony today, on page 7 of your direct testimony, you recommend an additional order point related to altering the collector circuits and access drive. Based on your comments today, is it your position that you're no longer recommending that order point?
I don't believe I would recommend it to the exact degree that I originally had proposed.
Do you intend to recommend an altered version of this order point?
Excuse me, I'm just reading it for a second. So I would like to retract my initial statement. I believe I may recommend this as an option to the commission. However, I understand that the original testimony I'd made in my direct and the data requests involving this, they were restrictive, and as the applicant had pointed out, it would cause further issues and increased amount of tree clearing. And therefore, the reason I had suggested this altered piece was because these were the options that commission staff had seen to possibly be alternatives that would decrease tree clearing.
Okay, thank you. So it's a little unclear to me what your recommendation is then. So you would then, are you back at the position where you would recommend the order points as proposed in your direct testimony?
Correct.
But you agree that those order points as proposed are restrictive?
The order point proposed in my direct is talking specifically about DR items 5.02A and 5.02C, whereas the other items in that data request, which were B and D respectively, those items, B and D, I believe, were restrictive.
Understood. So you initially discussed today allowing other infrastructure, but not solar panels in arrays 9 and 10.
Correct.
So is that no longer your position?
My position is a recommendation to reduce the amount of infrastructure within the wooded areas. The recommendation that I made in my direct testimony that we can see now, this is only going to be a recommendation to the commission. I do not know whether they will choose this as a path forward.
I'm sorry, I appreciate you bearing with me here. I'm just trying to get clarification. So you just said you would recommend reducing the amount of infrastructure within the wooded areas.
Yes.
But you also maintain that you are going to recommend these two specific order points in your direct testimony, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I think I understand. I think that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. So any other cross? Redirect?
No questions.
So I believe you're excused. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
The PSC would like to call Ching Wu.
Raise your right hand. And do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. Please state your name for the record.
Chang Wu.
What is your position at the Public Service Commission?
I am a public service engineer.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony in this docket?
Yes.
Are the statements and representations in the testimony you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes.
Do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony at this time?
No, I do not.
Did you have the opportunity to review the testimony of other parties' witnesses that were submitted in this manner?
Yes.
Do you have any changes or clarifications to your testimony based on that testimony?
No.
Your Honor, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Any questions?
None from the applicant, Your Honor.
Okay. Seeing no others, thanks very much. You're excused.
Thank you.
The Public Service Commission would like to call Jerry Rademacher from the Wisconsin DNR.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Jerry Rademacher.
What is your position at the Wisconsin DNR?
I'm a water management specialist.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct and sir rebuttal testimony in this docket?
Yes, I did.
Are the statements and representations in the testimony you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes, they are.
Do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony at this time?
No, I do not.
Did you have the opportunity to review the testimony of the other parties' witnesses that were submitted in this matter?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any changes or clarifications that you would like to make to your testimony based on that testimony?
No, I do not.
Your Honor, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Any questions?
Nothing from the applicant, Your Honor.
All right. And seeing no other questions, you're excused. Thanks very much.
PSC would like to call Stacy Rowe from the Wisconsin DNR.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Please state your name for the record.
Stacy Rowe.
What is your position at the Wisconsin DNR?
I am an endangered resources utility liaison.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony in this docket?
Yes, I did.
Are the statements and representations in the testimony you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes, they are.
Do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony at this time?
No, I do not.
Did you have the opportunity to review the testimony of the other parties' witnesses that were submitted in this matter?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any changes or clarifications that you would like to make to your testimony today based on that testimony?
No, I do not.
Your Honor, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Any questions?
Nothing from the applicant, Your Honor.
Okay, seeing no other questions, you're excused.
Great, thank you.
PSC would like to call Samantha Wittens from the Wisconsin DNR.
All right, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you file or cause to be filed, or sorry, please state your name for the record.
Samantha Whitens.
What is your position at the Wisconsin DNR?
I'm a water resources engineer.
Did you file or cause to be filed direct testimony in this docket?
Yes.
Are the statements and representations in the testimony you filed in this case true and correct?
Yes.
Do you have any additions or modifications to your testimony at this time?
I do not.
Did you have the opportunity to review the testimony of the other parties' witnesses that was submitted in this matter?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any changes or clarifications you'd like to make to your testimony based on that testimony?
I do not.
Your Honor, the witness is available for cross-examination.
Okay, any questions?
Nothing from the applicant.
Okay, seeing no other questions, you're excused. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And that's commission staff witnesses. We have all of our witnesses have appeared, and we've accepted the testimony pending refiling. So we have the record in place. We have the post-hearing schedules already set. Are there any questions about how we're proceeding? Nothing? Okay. Well, thanks everyone for participating and joining us here today. Appreciate it. Thanks very much, and we're adjourned.
Thank you.